What's your opinion on the accessibility of funding in this space?
As Peter says, there is an increasing tranche of funders who are interested in funding, and there are some quite big names out there. I'm dealing with people like Close Brothers and others who are happy to be part of that market. We, of course, we don't arrange finance, so we leave that very much to our clients to arrange their development funding. But the point Peter's making in relation to the exit risk, the sales risk of properties is obviously important to us. That underwrite is effectively, from a mortgage lender perspective, always going to be done by whether the modules one produces are compliant with building regulations, whether they're warrantable in terms of the insurability of them. The longevity of properties is always going to be a challenge, in the sense that the current structure is we've got traditional buildings which are still standing, and therefore their longevity is defined by that reality. The question, I guess, is there a way one can demonstrate that the quality of what's being delivered through the modular process is sufficiently strong enough to meet that potential criteria? And that's something we look at consistently. But in terms of the quality of what we're doing, the majority where we're building, as we do, completed modules rather than panelized or other systems, is that they have to be transportable. So the strength and durability of these products, and I'll call them products to create this differentiation with traditional construction, the strength of these products is that they physically are built to a different quality, a different degree of strength, should we say, because they need to be transported. And so I would sort of throw it back, in a sense, on the traditional construction industry, which is, how does one demonstrate that a traditional built property has got the right quality marks? And it's straightforward, in a sense, to query, and understandable to query, the risks of modular in that sense, but the reality is they are probably stronger than traditional built buildings because they need to be transported. And the materials are self-evident. They have to meet the appropriate criteria in terms of construction strengths and joint strengths and all of the other requirements from a structural perspective to secure the warranties and building regulations passes that underwrite that quality in objective terms. So yes, we of course are going to say, and they are as good as, if not better than, traditional build.
Thanks for
David,
that.
just to put in, David, I think you're quite correct in what you're saying. I think it's more like the public perception. You know, prefabs of yesteryear, post-war, this, that, and the other, it still kind of lingers around a bit, rightly or wrongly. And I think it's changed that public perception to create the demand for probably what you're undoubtedly delivering.
No, you're absolutely right, Peter. There is a huge perception. I mean, for those of us who remember sort of the Roman points, as you say, the post-war buildings, any new systems, build systems that come in, have to be appreciated and understood, and therefore people need to be prepared to take the time to do that. Now, the members of the public out there who are buying houses should not be required to understand the technical capabilities of the buildings they're buying. They should be able to rely on the professionals involved in the processes to ensure that what they're getting is meeting the right quality of property that they're purchasing or renting. And it's incumbent on the industry, and I include ourselves within that, to ensure that people are properly educated and understand the issues. We have an open door policy for inspections for all funders to ensure that they get to understand it. There is an issue from funders as to those who are actually prepared to make the effort to understand the changes. And one of the issues that we deal with what I call high street lenders, or normal traditional high street bank lenders, is that they don't have the systems to enable them to understand and reevaluate their risk profiles of these of modular or in fact anything else, any sort of component systems. So that's one of the issues that we as an industry are facing, and one of the reasons why there is that slower adoption, because there is a lack of preparedness to understand the risks and reprofile the risks.